Okay, insula is sort of an honorary member of this part of the brain. It's called the limbic system, which is this very mammalian part of the brain that's all about emotions. Reptiles don't have very complex emotional lives. It's not till you get to mammals that you get these parts of the brain with like the amygdala and the hippocampus and all these brain regions, and then brain areas that are very, very intertwined with them: the hypothalamus, parts of the frontal cortex, the insula. The insula would have seemed to have nothing to do with the limbic system back when, because what the insula does is detect if you've just like bitten into some totally disgusting, poisonous, rotten food that's spoiled. It has to do with your gustatory detectors in your tongue, or if you're lucky enough, you could smell that it's spoiled, so olfactory disgust, and it triggers all these reflexes. You spit it out, you scrunch up your face, you close your eyes so you don't get whatever it is in your eyes, you feel nauseous, maybe even throw up the food. Yeah, it protects you from disgusting, rotten food and being poisoned by it. But then you get to us, and somewhere, I don't know, 20, 30,000 years ago, somebody invented things like morality and moral beliefs and moral judgments and stuff. And like, they weren't going to sit around and come up with a new part of the brain to do that. 30,000 years is like a blink of an eye in terms of neurobiological evolution. They said, okay, moral disgust. We've just invented this concept of moral disgust. It's kind of like disgusting foods and disgusting smells, disgusting acts on somebody's part, disgusting beliefs, disgusting ethics. I don't know, let's have the insula do moral disgust from now on. And you can have somebody contemplate a totally morally disgusting act, and they'll activate the insula. You listening about that disgusting act will activate your insula as if you just, bitten into a 5-week-old piece of smelly salmon or something, and those neurons could not tell the difference between a disgusting sensation and a disgusting moral judgment. And what that's about is why when we hear about something really, really morally repellent and stuff, we are repelled, and not just metaphorically. We feel sick to our stomach. It gives us a rotten taste in our mouth. We can't stomach it. I feel like puking. That's so upsetting to hear that. We have all these metaphors for what is quite literal. The part of your brain that tells you that you are smelling something really bad is the part of the brain that's also helping you decide whether this thing that those people are doing is morally okay or not. And you could change all sorts of people's moral judgments in sort of realms of like social politics and stuff by if you put them in a room that smells of rotten garbage, or if you put them in a room that smells of freshly baked cookies. And like, these have been beautiful studies showing that, this part of the brain has a lot of trouble between, I feel sensorially disgusted, with that's not right when those people do that. It's not okay. That shouldn't be allowed. Yeah, go talk about free will at that point and how we are making like carefully thought out decisions.
This is quickly becoming an expose of my dating life, this episode. But you mentioned that.
That's why I agreed to come on.
Yeah,
that's what they told me we would talk about.
That reptiles don't have complex emotional lives. And one of my first experiences with the dating apps, the girl I was on a date with told me that she had a pet snake, and she would like always say hello to her snake and the people you meet on dating apps. And I said, why would you have a pet snake instead of like a cat or something? Because snakes don't have feelings. And she got very angry with me on the date. But
well, I'm assuming there wasn't a second one, but yeah, insofar as neurobiologically, reptiles do not have much in the way of the material substrates for rich emotional lives. I kind of wonder about the same people who derive rich emotional lives from reptiles. Back in my fieldwork, it always struck me it would be very, very upsetting if I had been predated by a lion, but it would be like disgusting if I had been predated by a crocodile. Something about being like predated by a fellow mammal somehow felt like less demeaning or something. Each time I would have some sort of worrisome thing happen out in the field there.
Interesting. There was a brief time period many years ago when I was contemplating hunting as a more ethical way of getting meat. And I was watching a hunting show. I think it's Steve Rinella's Meat Eater. And he was eating a monkey. He was like with some culture in South America. And they were hunting monkeys and eating them. And I found that mammal on mammal consumption to be quite disturbing, to see like this monkey being cooked.
Yeah. I once in South Sudan had the opportunity to partake in some roasted monkey and passed on it. It just doesn't feel right. This is a creature that not only like felt pain and all of that, but could pass a theory of mind test. That's like good enough to get into most pre-Ks these days if you can show theory of mind. Yeah.
And I think you might mention in Determined that chimpanzees will team up to hunt monkeys, and they enjoy, like, I don't think you mentioned this, but they like enjoy or may enjoy pulling apart the monkeys while they're alive and eating them. That's like fun for them, and it's disturbing.
A more sort of cold-hearted explanation, rather than delving into chimpanzee pleasures, is there's usually such chaos of everybody trying to get a piece of it that, like, you don't wait, you eat them alive, which is something that baboons do as well, or the gazelles they take down, and hyenas do as well. But yeah, chimps hunt. They hunt in strategic ways. They cut corners on their prey. They will ambush one and like somebody flush whatever it is out from one end, and it goes running right into the arms of the ones waiting on the other side. And yeah, they're smart.